in like county jails for waiting for Andrew Wilson. What's up, homie? They were being held in county jails
Hey, what's up, Andrew
for what is it?
How did it make you feel that Donald Trump is president and Kamala lost?
Great. I bet on Donald Trump winning. I heard you bet on Kamala.
Well, that's true. Me and Destiny both bet on Kamala, yeah. But I mean, you didn't want him to win, right?
Did it pass the? I heard you had like a threshold though, right? Like a 2-to-1 or something like that. Did it pass the threshold, or did you end up like having a draw in that debate? I mean, in that.
No, it passed the threshold. I paid up.
Nice. Yeah. No, I wanted Kamala to win. Yeah. But I was fairly certain
I wanted Trump to win. I just was predicting that Democrats would cheat. You see, that's all. But anyway,
well, how do you know Trump didn't cheat? Why do you guys believe the results now?
Well, because there was 20 million votes less, right, this time for Biden. So no, that's pretty strange. But okay, we'll just I'm going to leave that there because I want to get into this immigration policy. I don't understand what you're coping about exactly. The nation repudiated your stupid Democrat ideas and think that they're fucking worthless, and overwhelmingly repudiated them and said, well, wait a second, as it turns out, we're going to make sure that we have the House and the Senate and the presidency. The map is totally red. He gets the popular vote. Like, this was a big fail for the new American experiment here, Tom.
Yeah, my overall point though is that they didn't get it across. They didn't get the point across. Like you were, what if it's true? You were asking me a question a second ago. This right here says the 1.1 million deportations since the beginning of the fiscal year 2021 through February 2024. The most recent data available are on pace to match the 1.5 million deportations carried out during the 4 years President Donald Trump was in office.
After they let 5 million in, great.
And then on top of that, yes, there was new executive orders that were put in place. Biden's.
What are you reading?
This is through the migrationpolicy.org. This is the updated one too, because this came out in June 27, 2024.
But Tom, I'm glad that they finally started doing their job after they let 5 million of them in. Tom.
Okay.
Like why do we even care about this? Like, you let 5 million illegal immigrants in on purpose. Democrats did.
Illegal immigrants? Where did you get 5 million illegal immigrants from?
Yeah, 5 million illegal immigrants, yes.
And then they raise their hand and say, I want TPS status, and they get it, and then we give them benefits. And this has happened more.
Well, wait, no.
Where did you get? No. Where did we get 5 million
of these people's
illegals?
Applications are rejected.
Where did you get 5 million illegal immigrants from?
That Biden let in?
Yes.
Pull up the numbers, Tom, for illegal border crossings under Joe Biden. You'll see for yourself.
I haven't seen anything with numbers. All I've seen is that they had that we have a total of 11 million illegal immigrants.
Yeah, bro. In the country. They let in. They stopped enforcing the border almost immediately,
and that most of them came in before Bush.
He was putting them up in hotel rooms, crossing the border. I don't know where you were, but MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, they were all covering this, Tom. Live.
Well, I saw them covering
these people up in hotel rooms all over the place. Like,
I saw them covering legal immigrants getting hotel rooms and stuff like that. But I saw them covering stuff with legal immigrants, not illegal immigrants.
No, I'm talking about under Biden's administration. His recent administration, this one.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They're putting them up in hotels, bro.
Yes, illegal immigrants. You said illegal immigrants.
Go across the border.
Yes,
I did the calculations on how much these people receive.
You said illegal.
And when you account for the Medicaid and the food stamps and the hotel vouchers, an individual can receive about 20,000. And from my calculations, there was 3.7 million. Multiply 3.7 million times 20,000 and tell me what number you get. Then go and look at how much money we spend on our veterans outside of their pensions and compare the numbers. And tell me there's not a problem there, because there absolutely is.
Yeah, okay. I can somebody send me something that says that there's 5 million illegal immigrants let in? You just told me that yes, they're putting up legal immigrants in hotels and shit like that. I don't know anything about illegal immigrants getting
the
that.
downside to the argument is the moment that the person enters the country illegally and then they say, I need help, I'm fleeing from my country, they now become legal immigrants. And then your side of the argument is like, no, 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 no. You can't. You're not illegal. They're legal now. And
yes,
that's the
but
conundrum.
then okay,
That's
so
where
then
we
yes,
find
so then
ourselves,
argue that you
like,
don't
trying
like
to,
that they
like,
legalized too many people, but don't say they let illegal immigrants in. Say I don't like that they're legalizing so many immigrants, and then we can have a conversation about that. But yes, if you just
They're
change
not
what words
legalizing
mean,
them though, Tom. They reject 90% of these visas. What are you
that's what
talking
he
about?
just said. I'm responding to what he just said. He said that they're legalizing them, so I'm responding to him. I don't know. Ask him.
they're giving them temporary protective status, which makes them legal by your definition.
And documented.
And
yes.
so, and like what Andrew's saying is 90% of these people get it rejected. So they come into the country. 10% of them actually get to stay. The other 90% leech off
No,
of the
even the
taxes.
10% don't even get to stay. What
do they
happens
not?
is they give them a temporary status, even within that 10%, and then it gets whittled down even more. Almost all of the visas which are given to people who come here under the guise of we need to stay because our what's that?
They get that TPS status. But the
yes, but
asylum.
most of them,
Yeah,
well,
but
most
it's
of them,
all
most
under
of
the
them
guy,
aren't
all
getting
the
to
guys
stay,
buy a
but they're
war-torn
leaving.
country, blah 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 blah. It's all bullshit. They get them rejected. Totally
Yes,
rejected.
but that's what I'm saying is that part of the asylum process is that most of them end up getting rejected and then they're not here anymore. So unless
Well,
they
the
come
asylum
back a
process
second
should
time.
happen with the Mexicans on their side of the border. They should be dealing with it, not us. They're coming up through
That's a
their
problem with the
country's border,
UN.
not ours.
That's a problem with the UN. We have federal laws that say that we already made these agreements with the UN, saying that this is when we have to let people in based on the UN agreements for asylum. So like that's not a
The
Biden
UN
thing.
didn't
That's
pass
just
the
the way that
executive
it's
order
been.
to allow 2,500 people a day to cross for 7 days consecutively before it was an emergency. That wasn't the United Nations. That was the Biden-Harris administration that said that. And then they tried to pass a bill that would double that to
Hold on.
5,000 people a day, which would allow 20 million people a decade.
Hold on. Wait. You just
40
misquoted
million
that. That's
people in
not
2
true.
decades.
You just misquoted that.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. So the first one that you're saying, where they're letting a certain amount of people in first, that's when they stop letting all people in. Not just that's when they have arrested too many people. They are now detaining too many people. They need too many resources for this group of people, and so if they've caught that many people, they cannot keep dealing with other people who are coming in. So they cut off all immigration.
2,500 people per day.
I don't even know. I actually don't even understand why we're having.
They're
why you're having this
arresting
argument,
them
Tom.
because you guys don't know what you're talking about. That's why you don't know anything about it.
Because you stupid fucks can't be honest.
No, because you guys keep lying about all this shit. You're lying right now. Everything that you guys are coming up with is a lie. Those people are being detained. Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Hold on. Just listen to what I'm telling you. I'm saying that those people are being detained. Once they're detained and they have so many resources going towards detaining that many people, yes, they stop letting all people in. Illegal, legal, anything. They stop letting people in.
Good.
And now those people who are detained get deported. That's how that works. But you're making it sound like, they let that many people in, so now they're in the country. No, they're detained. That's why they have a limit. It's because too many resources go towards that limit.
Let me ask you this. So in 2021, 1.9 million people came into crossed the border. 2022, 2.7 crossed the border. And then in 2023, when that executive order was passed, 3.2 million. And then 2.9 million. So Trump didn't even have a single year with over 1.2 million people. Joe Biden had every single year of his with over 1.5 million border crossings. And you're trying to sit here and argue that
the first
I have this
the
bill
wait
out,
but the
like,
no
the
no no
wrong
but
way
the first
when
time
it
yes
clearly
you are
states
you
5,000 people per day,
Yes.
and only if it goes over that 5,000 will
Does it become a problem?
Yes, and that's what I'm saying is that you you are still getting this wrong. No, you're still getting this wrong.
They're going to get to 4,999, and they're going to say, wait till tomorrow at dawn, and then come. And that's
Okay,
what the fucking
no.
thing's gonna
Again,
happen.
yes,
Don't
but they're
say that it's not,
they're
because that's
detaining them
the
and they're
bullshit
deporting
that
them.
the
So I don't know
left
why you're
takes.
repeating that. They're detaining them and they're deporting them. So I don't know why you just repeated that. But the other point that you brought up a second ago,
They're not detaining.
shit.
If
Hold
they were
on.
detaining
Stop
and
talking.
deporting
Stop
them,
talking.
we
Stop
wouldn't
talking.
have this
Stop talking.
influx.
I gotta. There was another point that you just made a second ago that I gotta. I don't remember what the fuck
Which
it
one?
was. What was the first point that you made? Because I can't like address like 5 points at a time. So what was the first?
Well,
thing?
hang on. Listen, wait. Before you get into this, okay, on illegal immigration, I came in here specifically because I wanted to ask you. Besides how it makes you feel to know that Trump's going to be president again for 4 years, which is awesome. I wanted to ask why you think Democrats lost so badly, and it sounds like you think that they lost so badly because Republicans lied.
Yes, I think the Republicans are
Yeah,
like better
yeah.
at lying, and I think that Democrats refuse to lie and refuse to even tell the truth, and so they just kind of fucked it up.
So to just get this right, no changing course whatsoever.
No, I
You're going to
have
do
a ton of
exactly.
criticisms
You
for
think that
Kamala.
Democrat
That's
policies need to
bullshit.
just
No, I
stay
think that
what
no,
they
no,
are?
no, no. My entire thing has been that I think that she was appeasing the progressives too much. She was trying to appease the far left. She was playing this game where she's trying to appease like the the middle and the far left at the same time without ever appeasing like the people in the center. I think that she was really bad at answering questions. She seemed to like completely avoid questions where she had really good opportunities to say things, and I think that yes, they let Trump get away with too much while he has 80 something fucking felonies on he's being charged with right now that they never even talked about.
Nobody gives a shit about his felonies, Tom. They give a shit about whether or not people are trying to shoot him in the face because of the left's rhetoric.
Yeah, well, that's why they
about.
should have. That's what. Well, the little babies will get over that one, but the fact that this guy's a felon in the fucking
They'll get
White
over.
House.
Well, I mean, they'll get over that. They got over it by giving. By the way, this election wasn't close. It was landslide victory. Fucking landslide. Absolute
It was close.
landslide.
It was 300,000 votes difference. Like that's all to win the electoral college, and it was only less than 4 million in the popular vote.
Bro, if I had asked you 4 years ago if the Republicans would ever win the popular vote again, you'd say no. You would have said no.
I don't know. I would not. I've been saying that there's like a growing populist push, and that Republicans are representing that populism. I've been saying this for a while. I don't know who you're talking about.
The popular vote is what I'm talking about.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying is that they are growing in numbers. They are growing in people.
Then why do you think Democrats are pushing so much to get rid of the Electoral College if they know that they lose all the popular vote too?
I've never heard them say
they want
to get rid of the Electoral College. What Democrats want to do that? What Democrats want to do that? When did a Democrat say they want to get rid of the Electoral College?
What do you mean? They've been pushing it for 4 years.
Who's
they? Talk about it nonstop about how the Electoral College is your own
name some of them.
DEI,
no, name some
right?
of them.
DEI?
Name some of them. Then it's really easy. They talk about it all the time.
Here I'll give you a bunch of political commentators. We'll start with I don't know, Destiny. We'll move over to Bosch. We'll move over to David Pakman.
If you're talking about those people, I thought you meant Democrats, not fucking streamers.
They call it DEI.
Yeah, if you're talking about streamers, then yeah, sure. I thought you were talking about Democrats.
Not just streamers. There's prominent Democrats too. Pelosi's talked about it before. Many different politicians have discussed how the Electoral College is unfair, and they want to move it over to a popular vote because because Democrats had been winning popular vote even if they lost in the Electoral College. So then that wasn't fair, right? Nobody expected.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to get rid of it.
Nobody expected Donald Trump.
That's kind of the point.
To have, in any way, shape, or form, the popular vote, the Electoral College, and this type of sweeping victory. And yes, it was a sweeping victory, state by state, very sweeping. He collapsed the entire blue wall. The whole thing collapsed. The whole thing they were banking on totally collapsed. The thing is, man, is like.
You do agree? It was 300,000 for her to win the Electoral College.
Republicans lied.
You do? Well, hold on. First, one, I don't want to get rid of Electoral College. The whole thing that you just mentioned, where the minority wins sometimes, that's the entire point of Electoral College. That's why it's there. But the second thing is, she only lost by 300,000 between a couple of states and would have won the Electoral College. And then two, she only is down by like 3 million in the popular vote.
Bro, she didn't win. She the whole blue wall, which is a strategy, came crashing down. This was completely unexpected, by the
Well,
way.
I don't know about the blue
Nobody
wall.
expects-
I predicted that Trump was going to win all 6 swing states, and he did. So I like
Yeah, he did.
I'm
He did, and
I'm
he
not
won.
surprised
Yeah,
by
but
any
the
of
thing
this.
is like,
But it was
is
still
the idea,
close.
this idea. Okay, so here's the general idea for you copers, right? You
Mhm.
lost because the conditions on the ground reflected what Republicans said the conditions on the ground were. That your grocery prices are more expensive, your gas prices are more expensive, and
Mhm.
that Democrats are more concerned with social justice and pandering to minorities than they are in assisting you in any way for your economic living standards.
Well, yeah, that was part of the problem with their rhetoric. Is yes, they didn't talk about those things
It's
enough,
not
and that
part of
was
the
what I
problem
was
of the
just
rhetoric.
telling everybody else. Is that
They were
the
lying. They were
no,
lying.
well,
They
no, the
said,
fact
no,
that the
what people are
economy
concerned
is
about
better.
fucking abortions. All they want is abortions, abortions, abortions.
I don't know about that, but yes, when I'm saying the rhetoric, I'm saying yes, like the economy is
The number
better,
one
and
issue
that
of the
we
election
have.
of the campaign was fucking abortions. The only thing Kamala Harris ever fucking talked about is reproductive rights. What are you talking about, bro?
Okay, I
This
thought
is the
democracy
mainstream
was the
mainstay of the
everything that I
Democrat
saw
talking
from
point is
Democrats was
fucking
that
women having
democracy.
abortions.
Yeah, everything I saw from Democrats was that democracy was the number one issue for all of them, and so I didn't see that one.
What? Oh,
I mean,
bro.
they talked about abortion for the last like
The rhetoric
Yeah.
around reproductive rights was one, depending on which poll you look at.
I
it
agree that
number
was
one
one
or
of
number
the.
two.
I
In the
agree that
exit
was one of
polls-
the
In the
issues,
exit
but
polls, it was either democracy or abortion. Okay. But the main talking point they banked on to galvanize voters was not based around, oh, we're going to make prices go down, and oh, we're going to make sure that you can have access to that American dream again. Their whole promise to
yes,
the
that's what I'm
American
saying.
voter
Yes, I
was
agree with
that
all this.
skanks could go kill their kids, Tom.
Yes, I
And you
agree
don't
with all
think that
this. This
that
is
needs to
literally what
change?
I've been saying. This is literally what I've been saying. Yes, for the first fucking hour of my stream is literally me complaining about this shit right here. Yes, this is exactly what I've been talking about.
Yeah. So when I ask you, then you don't think that they need to change their rhetoric? And then nope, you said it's just
No, I
because
did not
Republicans
say
lie.
that. I did not say that. I didn't say they don't need to change their rhetoric. You said, "Oh, they're going to continue with the same old thing," and I said, "No way, they better not," because I've been criticizing them this entire
Democrats have
time.
nothing to offer us except tax increases. That's it.
Well,
Nothing else.
Democrats
they
have
had
been doing
the
same
again
exact thing since
after the
2012.
pandemic, they had
It's been the same
they had
rhetoric.
the fastest recovery after the pandemic, and wages outpaced inflation. And then they also they had out of all first world countries, they had
I lost you,
the
Tom.
best GDP. So
You can still hear
they
me or
were.
not.
I know. Wait, did I go out?
You did for me. You did.
Oh,
for me.
okay. Weird. But yeah, I was saying that, like, yes, when it came to the economy, yes,
Tom,
fastest
listen,
recovery
you
again.
You can say this. You can say this fastest. You can use the Democrat talking.
I
points
agree.
of,
The people didn't
oh,
believe
after,
it. I agree. That's what
after
I'm
we
saying.
shut down the economy, we opened it up, back up. Oh, it recovered pretty quick. It's like for people on the ground, it don't feel like a recovery. It felt like they were getting fucked. Tom, felt like all Democrats were doing everywhere is fucking them, and all they cared about was a young skank's right to kill her kids. It's all it felt like to them.
Yes, I agree. It was bullshit. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I've been criticizing them
we're
this
going to increase the
entire
corporate
time.
tax rate, yay, and build some fucking houses. Wow, Tom, this was some. They're really offering up a lot. Huh?
Wait, well, that is part of the major issues. Is that right now we have a massive labor shortage, but some of the cities that have labor shortages and don't have enough people to work the jobs don't even have housing for them. So when a bunch of people move there to start taking those jobs, when a bunch of people move there to start.
Bro, every
yes,
major
I agree.
metropolitan area that has a surplus of workers always has housing problems. That's always the case.
That's why they should fix it. Yes, that's why they should have a solution.
Houses in
yes,
places where industries could shift is not going to help that problem.
That's why having solutions for it is a good idea. That's why somebody actually worrying about it and trying to fix it.
Listen, this was done before. Do you realize how much the government spent in cities like Detroit and Chicago during the automotive boom to build new houses? They were being begged for it because they needed more workers. And then when those plants shut down, you were left with a whole bunch of empty fucking houses. And it was a massive detriment to the American taxpayer. It's a stupid plan. It's always been a stupid plan. I don't know why you guys ever ran with that. Nobody ever, it was never anything anybody gave a shit about. Nobody's running around clamoring for a house for the government to build new houses. They're clamoring to be able to make enough money to afford to fucking get one in the
fortunately,
first place.
all of the manufacturing businesses that went out of business under Trump and because of tariffs all came back under Biden and Kamala.
There wasn't any.
Even more.
What
Yes,
industry
no,
went
they
out
built
under
even
Trump?
more.
There wasn't any.
There were manufacturing did the car manufacturing in Detroit completely crumbled. Steel manufacturing that was getting
Tom.
no okay,
Tom,
whatever.
They were going out anyway.
Sure. I think that other people could have tried to save them. Yes, I think that they could have tried to keep some of the biggest manufacturing businesses in America open.
Anyway.
Georgia had the biggest, where I live, where Georgia, we had the biggest effect to manufacturing here, where tons of companies went out of business. And then under Biden and Kamala, we had a resurgence
of fucking lockdowns, Tom. They went out because of lockdowns.
Yeah.
Not because of Chinese tariffs. Chinese tariffs did not cripple American industry. That's the biggest fucking lie I ever heard in my life.
True. You believe this election. That's good. I'm proud of you for actually accepting the results this time. That's awesome.
Step forward. When there's 20 million less votes. Yeah, I mean, it seems that, perhaps.
Yeah, and when the bellwether,
because of the amount of poll watchers who were out there who were deployed by individual watchdog groups this time, maybe that made an impact. Yeah.
Based.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, 20 million votes out of nowhere is a little bit suspect. And
it's a little weird. It's a little fucking weird. But hey, you know what? It's okay though.
Well, when you look at the bellwether, and Trump is the only one to. No, you're good. But the bellwether, Trump is the only one to win 90% of them and lose in the last 10 elections since it's been out, with 20 million extra votes and claims of fraud. And then to be able to even question it one time, he couldn't even question it day one without the mainstream cycle painting him as a lunatic. He's against democracy. And from the moment, it was set up. And it's like, I'm not saying that the election was stolen. I don't know for a fact by any means. I can't verify it, but I can look at the evidence. It's kind of funny, like when a raven or a crow follows patterns, we think the raven and crow is smart. But when I notice patterns and you guys notice patterns, we're like, we're fucking dumb. I'm like, no, kick rocks. Kick rocks, eat hot dog water.
When Donald Trump deploys the fucking Department of Justice to begin its investigation into what actually happened during that election, I think a lot of you fuckers are going to go to jail. Is what I think.
I think you should do an investigation into what happened with all of those electors in 2020. That would be good. We need to get to the bottom of that one. I'm not just noticing patterns in that one.
Investigation in American history. It was already done.
Oh shit, you're right.
The largest in American history. It was the largest investigation ever done, Tom.
That's right. He's facing 50 charges
January
for
6th,
that.
The biggest one ever.
I forgot about that. Yeah. He does have 50 charges for those. I forgot about that. That is a lot.
No, he doesn't. What do you mean? 50 charges for what?
For election meddling and election fraud, the fake slate of electors.
Sorry, was Donald Trump ever convicted for election meddling or election fraud?
No, that's not what a conviction is. Not charges. Convictions are not the same as charges. Well, the convictions are not the same as charges. Well, none of these. So if you want to pivot to something else, we can. If this is a rough topic, I don't mind moving to if this is bringing back some PTSD or something. I can go to that one instead. No? Okay.
PTSD for us.
Yeah. So
currently, you fuckers to have done was to round up a bunch of guys, a bunch of people who are unarmed, throw them in prison, and try to paint an entire one side of the country as being insurrectionists. Now we have control again, man. What do you think's going to happen here?
Why?
What do you think's going to happen here? That now that we have control of the government again, after you fucking pukes spent 4 years trying to round us up, imprison us, throw us away, lock us away, throw away the fucking key, Like,
Yeah.
what do you think's going to happen here? You think it's going to be nice time for you guys or what?
No, I don't expect you guys to abide by the Constitution, but but I do know that yes, 4 of Trump's lawyers already have been convicted and agreed to testify. That 4 of Trump's lawyers already have been convicted and agreed to testify against him, as have electors have already been charged and convicted. And thankfully, these are state charges, so Trump isn't able to like give himself any sort of immunity from this. Those are only for federal charges, so the federal charges look like they're going away, but the state charges are going to be there in 4 years.
Could charge him with every crime under every statute they have, and he's totally immune. They can't do shit about it.
Well, for the next 4 years, correct? Unfortunately,
no, we don't know that. Actually, we don't know that. The Supreme Court, the Supreme Court ruling makes it ambiguous. There's a good possibility that he just can't be charged or put in prison or anything based on these state charges.
No, they already appealed the Georgia charges to the Supreme Court. They're still going. So they already revised them after the Supreme Court ruling, and they said that they leave it up to the lower courts to decide whether or not these are something that he's going to be immune from. So that's already there. It's just that you can't you can't have a state in charge. You obviously can't have a state DA in charge of the president. That can never happen. So for the next 4 years while he's in jail, while he's in presidency, they can't actually have him come to court.
Well, no, then not only can they not do anything, but still it's ambiguous as to whether or not he can be put in jail at all. It's still ambiguous, Tom.
Okay, maybe. From what I've understood, like they've decided it, but he can appeal it after and see if he can get away with another crime. I'm not sure. We'll see.
What would the crime be?
In this one is
what would the crime he would get away with?
Oh, the exact crime, or like attempting a coup in like a general sense of like committing a crime, or are you talking about like specifically like getting people to commit?
If it was a coup, let me tell you, so Tom, here I'll just test your logic.
If I don't get like a sentence out, I don't know if you can test my logic, but go ahead and I'll see if I can get through one.
Well, I'm having trouble hearing you on Discord. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to.
Okay, yeah, you do have to turn me up. For some reason, my mic's insanely quiet on Discord. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not trying to filibuster you, bro. I literally can't hear you.
So. Okay, I'll get close to the mic.
Yeah. So that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to have a constructive dialogue with you. So, if Donald Trump had come out on January 6th and he'd walked out and said, you know what, they stole it, kill them all, right? What do you think would have happened, Tom?
I think that there would have been a lot of death.
I think you're right. That sounds like a fucking coup. And he could have done it. He literally could have done it. And I think you're right. I think it would have ended up in a lot of people fucking dead. I think Congress was scared, petrified, scared that he was going to do that. And they realized, oh shit, we're not nearly the powerful gods that we thought we were just 2 days ago. As it turns out, an unarmed group of people can just kind of walk in here, and there's not a whole lot we can do here. What happens if they arm themselves and go, oh, we're done with you. We're fucking done. And if they had the authority from the executive branch, because he was like, look, I'm the president of the United States. I'm giving you a lawful order. That would have been a fucking coup. This false elector bullshit, this is all fucking cope, dude. It's all cope. It's always been cope. If Donald Trump wanted to do a coup on January 6th, he could have done a coup on January 6th.
Sure, but that's all pure obfuscation, because that doesn't have anything to do with the actual claims of a coup, where he has lawyers who get people to pretend that they are electors. They fraudulently fill out slates of electors saying that he won states.
Show me a charge for a coup, bro.
He has charges for racketeering. Inside of that racketeering is election fraud and election interference.
Yeah, show me coup.
Wait, what do you think a coup is?
Coup ever.
What do you think a coup is? What do you think a coup is?
It's the military overthrow of the government.
That's called a military coup. This is a soft coup so every coup. Hold on. No. Every single coup is a different type of coup.
That's what the left does. They take words.
Hold on.
And they conflate them, and then they twist them, and they take the meaning and make it mean something else.
No, that's do you want to look it up?
I'm going to look up coup. I'm
Yeah,
gonna look up coup in the dictionary from
literally
1994.
every single coup is a type of coup. All of them are. So there's constitutional coups, there's military coups, there's soft coups. According to this one, Trump committed both a soft coup and a constitutional coup.
Yeah, okay, so just get this right. All coup means in the way that you're using it is if you do anything to do what?
Illegally or
To harm the
fraudulently take
government?
power that is not yours. That is generally a coup.
Okay, so are there corporate coups?
Yeah, that's literally a phrase. Yeah, corporate coup where they do board takeovers
Okay, so
and shit.
yeah, but is that a legal term? Is what I'm asking.
No, I don't think that those are
okay.
illegal.
So but a constitutional coup is a legal term?
I don't know if coup is even a legal term. As I said, he's not charged with coup.
No, for sure. I think he could be charged for an actual coup. I mean, certainly under the UCMJ, you can be charged for a coup, for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's an actual. I mean, there's legal precedent for charging people with coups, actual coup d'état, right? So, I'm not sure. It's funny you say kind of it's buried in these other charges, right? But is that actually buried in there as a legal reference of something he's being charged with, or is that just language which is being used in the charge itself, Tom?
What do you mean? As I said, part of the charges are that he is election interference and election meddling and fraudulently filling out slates of electors, claiming Donald Trump won an elector, claiming Donald Trump won states, 7 different states that he didn't win. Having people pretend to be officials from states that they were not officials from and claiming that they were duly elected officials when they weren't duly elected officials.
Yeah, so they're not charging him with a coup then?
Correct. I think I said that a while ago. Yeah. They are not charging him with a coup.
They're not charging him with a coup because he didn't do a coup. So that's why. And by the way, and you can mix this up. You can say, oh, there's a constitutional coup, there's a this coup, there's a that coup. We're talking about a coup d'etat, where Donald Trump could have gone out and instructed the military to stand down and instructed the citizenry of the United States to literally off their government. He could have done that. And they probably would have done that, Tom. Many of them probably would have done that because they would have considered it a legal order from the president of the United States.
Okay, yeah, I can't find any. I can't even find federal laws for coups. Even like I know Georgia doesn't have any.
Yeah. Look at the military law because that's what the president would be charged with.
There's mutiny or sedition. Person found guilty of attempted mutiny or sedition or failure to suppress a report, mutiny or sedition.
From 1990s, before the language got changed, states a sudden violent overthrow of a government by a small group. Did that happen on January 6th?
No. That was not violent.
Yeah, no.
And like
it wasn't a coup. It's ridiculous.
I mean, okay, if you guys are using only old definitions, that's fine. You guys don't say like, oh, that's cool, because if you would be using cool in the way that the leftists all change the language and shit, right? You guys don't do that. You only use like old definitions, like it's common parlance. Okay, true. So exactly. So that's what I'm saying is that yes, dictionaries put what a coup.
Common parlance. You fuck. Stop lying, Tom.
Wait, I didn't say that. I didn't say constitutional coup. I said it was a coup. Then you said, well, no, it has to have the military. I said, no, that's a military coup.
Bro, when you ask a person, any random person, anywhere, what's a coup? What do you think they say?
I think they're going to say somebody taking power from somebody else that is illegal, fraudulent, and one that they don't deserve.
Come on, dude. You know what? We can do it right now. You know what? Let's do this experiment. Go into my Discord right this second. Okay, go into my Discord right this second. I'm here, right? I'm not sending any messages. In fact, I'll put myself on camera if you want. You can go into my Discord and just grab a random person one at a time and just say, without looking it up, what would you say a coup is? What do you think they're going to say to you, Tom?
I don't know. The right's always changing definitions and changing words, and I can't depend on them to give me a definition. Well, I mean, just a little while ago, we were calling immigrants we were just calling immigrants a little while ago illegals. So of course, like,
and ask them, Tom. Do it right now.
I don't know. I don't. All right. I don't know if I'm even like in Discords that I can just type in.
You're choking, bro, because you already know what they're gonna say. They're gonna be like, "That's when the military takes over power."
No, because I'm not choking. This just isn't like any sort of scientific process, which dictionaries do have in order to come to definitions, which is based on colloquial usage.
What scientific process do they have?
So they're going to test. They have numbers of them. They have pragmatic tests on how to know what it is that somebody means to communicate when they use a word, what it is that most people hear when they hear a word, and then they use that to try to get it into its most. When we say defined, we're saying something is like as specific as possible. So they give a definition that is specific as possible.
The way that people use the word is going to become one of the parts of the definition, which is based around a defining. I agree with you. So what I'm saying to you is, in common parlance, when you say what a coup is, nobody's thinking about an election coup and a constitutional coup.
Okay, I'll just say a soft coup then. I'll just say he committed a soft coup.
That's what they're thinking about.
Fine, I'll just say a soft coup then. He committed a soft coup.
Yeah, what is that? The fuck is a soft coup?
I'm sure you're gonna ask me to do it anyway, so I will just look up the definition. Soft coup, sometimes referred to, the concept of a soft coup as a strategy. Oh, this one doesn't actually. A soft coup, sometimes referred to as a silent coup, is an illegal overthrow of a government. So it's an illegal overthrow of a government. Unlike a classical coup d'état, it is achieved without the use of force or violence.
Yeah, go back though to the one you were reading previously. What did it say?
This is the one before. It just said the concept of it's a very long thing about like the history of it and everything. It's like it just says the concept of a soft coup as a strategy is attributed to the American political science Gene Sharp, a professor emeritus of political science at University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth. Yeah, like I wasn't avoiding something. It's just it doesn't actually give a definition there.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, Tom. Right. If you're wondering why it is that most of the country thinks that all of you leftists are a bunch of lying, gutless fucking weasels, is because of shit like this. We go, no, Andrew, see, it wasn't really a coup. It was a soft coup.
The fact that you're getting into semantics when you know that he tried to steal power doesn't matter.
You know what people do?
It doesn't matter.
They roll their fucking eyes in the back of their head and they're like, shut up. That's what they do.
Well, that's sure. I believe it.
Do, bro.
I believe it because like when somebody else is getting into semantics, when obviously one way or the other, this is like a horrific crime and something that is insanely unconstitutional and unpatriotic from a blabbling moron who believes that he won the election. And instead of actually addressing that, they address whether or not you would consider it a coup, what type of coup is it, and getting into the semantics of that shit. Yeah, I think when I'm talking to people who are going to do that, they're going to have trouble with it. Yes, and I'm saying
like we called it a coup. You fucking called it a coup. You ingrate. You called it a coup.
Sure. Got me.
Yeah, and to be fair, like if you think about it,
called it a coup.
There's 20 million extra votes. He couldn't question any fraud legitimately without him being questioned from the second that he claimed it. So, is it fair to say that there was a soft coup against him because it wasn't violent? Can we claim that?
Say that again? I'm not understanding.
Is there a soft coup that went against Donald Trump? I mean, I would say that there's been a coup against Donald Trump since the moment he came into office.
There's always some sort of victimhood, but in what way?
Oh, you remember how I can send you the article where the media admitted that they all came together in order to stop Donald Trump from taking power by any means necessary.
Well, you just mean like leftists and activists and everybody did what they do literally every election where they put money into the...
coup, though, bro. It's a soft coup.
Yeah. Oh, true.
Yeah, I mean, they did it without violence.
Yeah, they did it without violence.
They just tried to win an election, but okay, that's...
Yeah, do you think that deploying Antifa, for instance, all over the nation and having Antifa meetings where they're like a tube of toothpaste in order to sow as much discontent, which was totally fucking illegal, how's that not a soft coup, Tom?
Why because it's violent. Antifa is a very violent group, and soft coups are not violent. Did you not hear the definition I gave earlier? Do you want me to read it again?
I heard the definition. Not everywhere Antifa went was there violence, but they definitely sowed discontent illegally, right?
I would assume, yeah. From most of what I saw, they were definitely doing illegal things. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, I don't know. It sounds like a soft coup, bro. It sounds like the left trying to do a soft coup.
Yeah, if you can show politicians
always trying to do these coup d'etats, or something, why always trying to do them?
Oh, if you can show that, like, yeah, there were Democrat lawyers, or like, Kamala's lawyers had them go do that, like Trump's lawyers had these people pretend to be electors, and then sure, I would totally be down to see that.
Metropolitan area where the Democrats who are in charge literally give pieces of it to the citizenry to fucking burn down. Gee, I don't know. It sounds like a soft coup to me.
I didn't see that. Yeah, I saw hundreds of people getting arrested, and I saw massive charges on people. I saw federal charges on people. I saw something different.
After multiple people have died, after hundreds of injuries,
after you know what? Maybe that was just a real. Maybe that wasn't a soft coup then. Maybe you're right. Maybe that was just a real coup. Maybe that was using militia-like forces.
That was a real
coup. To violently overthrow the government, the elected government. Maybe that's what that was, huh?
Yeah, you're right. That was a real coup. I agree.
Well, I don't know. If you cut off a whole piece of a city block and rename it CHOP and say it's sovereign from the United States of America, and then put armed military-style troopers inside of it with machine guns, what does that sound like to you?
An insurrection is what I would call that.
Oh, you just say it's just kids. It's just kids playing.
Well, they didn't take over. They didn't take over a position of power from somebody else that wasn't theirs, but they did try to subvert the rule of law from officials engaging in some sort of official action through violent means.
Sovereign from the United States and had armed militia members there. What are you talking about? What?
We're talking about an insurrection.
Some hippies in the fucking forest, right? They start a fire and are talking shit about weed laws. That's a fuking insurrection. But if you cut
that's literally what they got charged with.
And arm it with militia, people won't let people in and out. That doesn't fit the definition then.
No, I just said that Chaz is an insurrection. I just said it's an insurrection. I don't know why. What do you mean?
Well, how come nobody ever got charged with insurrection for that?
Nobody got charged with insurrection for January 6th either, but they did get charged with sedition.
But that's because that wasn't an insurrection in this case.
But it was sedition, right?
I think it was a coup.
But it was sedition, though, right?
Militia who had foreign government ties because the head of them was a communist, an avowed communist. I think that was a coup d'etat.
Well, I think we can come to some middle ground. You believe that January 6th was sedition, right? Because people got charged with seditious conspiracy. So that was no. So even if they do get charged and convicted, it's still not the thing.
I think there may have been some people who were there who were up to sedition. That could be true.
Yeah, true. Some people there were engaged in
sedition. Meaning that like it was seditious behavior from Trump down, then no, I categorically disagree.
No, I don't think it was from Trump down. I don't think the insurrection was Trump down either. I think that Trump just I don't think he told anybody to go commit an insurrection. I think that he said that the election was stolen.
Let's hang on. Let's move back to this.
Pivot.
When you say was January 6th an sedition, then what does that mean? If we agree that some people had seditious, or wanted to commit sedition, and we would all agree that that's true, that doesn't make it, the event itself, a sedition, Tom. So what would make it that?
I would agree, but that's why when I say that it's an insurrection and you say nobody's charged with insurrection, I actually am a little confused by that. But now that we're on sedition, now you agree with that sort of reasoning, which I'm glad that we can come to that conclusion that whether or not somebody's charged with these things doesn't make the event that thing.
You haven't reasoned anything out.
Why I just did.
Have you used? There's no inductive reasoning you've used here. This is very simple.
I literally
could some people have gone to Capitol Hill for the purpose of insurrection? I suppose. And some people have gone for the purpose of sedition. I suppose that's true too. Why in the fuck that would mean that it was that thing? That I'm very confused about.
Well, no, that's what, again, so I'm going to repeat it. That's what I'm saying, is that whether or not somebody there was charged with a thing, whether or not somebody is charged with the thing does not make it that thing. We can call it that thing regardless of whether or not somebody's been charged or convicted with it. But you kept bringing up, well, was somebody charged with it? Well, then it wasn't that thing. And I'm saying, well, that doesn't make it the thing. But now you agree with me that whether or not somebody's charged with sedition doesn't make it sedition, just as whether or not somebody's charged with insurrection doesn't make it insurrection. We're on the same page.
Yeah, but Tom, that was never the position taken. The position taken is just this. When you say that X person, right, was committing an insurrection, it's like saying X person is a murderer, right? They're a murderer. If I said Tom is a murderer, would it be okay to assume, do you think, in the minds of people, that Tom has been convicted of murder?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Or at least you think I should, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a totally reasonable inference. And so, yes, of course, people say, well, it's really fucking weird that you're running around saying that this was an insurrection when nobody ever even got charged with insurrection. And when you look at the charges they were charged for, they don't even seem insurrection-like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, of course, people have questions about it. That's one. But two, I don't even know that has any bearing on the current conversation as to whether or not, if we're talking about, for instance, sedition. Right. Sure.
Well, I
maybe
was just
five
saying
guys
that
there were seditious, but who cares? It doesn't mean that the sixth was sedition. That's insane.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying is that, yes, whether or not somebody's charged with it doesn't make it the thing, just as we'll call somebody an illegal immigrant, whether or not they were actually charged with illegal immigration, we can still call them that because we think they've done that thing, and maybe they should be charged with illegal immigration. Just as with, yes, like insurrection or sedition, I might think somebody committed that crime, and even if they weren't charged or convicted with it, I might still say that they were an insurrectionist or committed sedition.
So here's the problem here, right? So deductively, that's true. That's fine deductive logic. I have no problem with it. But inductively, it's stupid, right? Because it's not the way that we actually use these terms when we apply them. Yeah. Okay. That's not how we do it. So ultimately,
how do we do it?
What I would say is this. What?
How do we do it? Which ones, like which words are we not using that way?
What? When we use inferences? Usually when we say somebody's a this or somebody's a that, the inference is that they've been charged, convicted, and jailed for the thing, generally.
Okay.
Or, at least charged with it or something like this. Otherwise, it's just fluff, right? So that we would call it shit talking, right? It'd be like, okay, like if you were to say, oh, that guy's a pedophile. Someone's like, really? He was charged with pedophilia? No. I just don't like the guy. That's shit talking, right? But when you say somebody is a thing, like Tom is a murderer, I think the inference for most people is that Tom's been charged with murder. Or Tom killed somebody. At very least, we can infer that, right? Tom killed somebody?
Yeah, I think that's, yes, they would at least, like lots of people unjustly called Kyle Rittenhouse a murderer, but even though he got off and he didn't get convicted of it, they still felt like he was a murderer.
Some criteria there we'd agree to.
Yeah.
That would even lead to the thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't even think we have that criteria down.
For insurrection or for sedition?
Well, for any of these terms, when you're talking about sedition or insurrection or what you say is a coup, right? These things, because here's what you do. You go, okay, well, look, this wasn't a fucking coup, clearly, okay? Well, Andrew, what's a coup? Well, coup is when the military tries to overthrow the government. And you're like, no. It's one type of coup. There's this type of coup, and there's that type of coup, and there's this kind of coup over, and there's the dancing coup. Well, ultimately, so what? Even if that were the case, right? The inference of people, when you say coup, they think you're a liar, Tom, because they're like, what are you talking about? There's no military overthrow of this. That's why they think you're liars, bro. That's the point. That's why they don't trust you. Well, not you specifically, right?
Well,
they don't trust the
sure, but when you guys ask me what it is that I'm calling a coup, I'm not making up a thing that never happened. I'm giving you the events, and so if it was confusing by me using the word coup, I am still giving an accounting of events that did happen and that we do have evidence for. And so if you don't want to call that a coup, happy to say that, like, yes, you don't call that a coup. But yes, I would just generally say illegally and fraudulently taking power that's not yours or that wasn't legally earned is a coup. But I don't have to call it a coup, but I do still think that it's something that, like, I'm using the word to try to put some sort of like moral moral weight on what it is that happened there, but I can call it something else.
Worse. You want to make it sound worse.
Well, I think that if I actually said what happened, I think that sounds worse than a coup. I think that yes, trying to get people to pretend he won 7 different states than the ones.
The military tried to overthrow the government. No, it doesn't sound worse than that, Tom.
I think saying pretending you won 7 different states that you didn't win is pretty bad.
These loaded ass terms. Hang on, man. The reason you use these loaded ass terms is because you know it'll elicit an emotional response. That's why you use them. That's why you do it. All of your fucking sloganeering is exactly the same way. Oh, Republicans want to take away. Like, here's a good one. Republicans want to make sure that women who are the victims of rape can't have an abortion. Right? That's what they want to do. They want to make sure. That's bullshit. Total. And everybody knows it's bullshit, by the way. But they say it anyway, Tom. They say it anyway. They just lie through their fucking teeth.
Yep.
And so I was like, at what point is anybody ever going to trust the left? They just lie, man. Or use these loaded terms like coup, for instance. And say, well, no, I'm not really talking about what everybody thinks a coup is. I'm talking about this other hyper-specific thing that nobody really gives a shit about, right?
Yeah, I'm not attached to the language, but I mean, I guess it's just at the point where we can't trust anybody then, because when Donald Trump is running the right and nobody can trust the left, it's rough out here.
Yeah, I think that there's a distinction in language between hyperbole and specific lying, Like, if Trump goes, I'm the greatest of all time, nobody thinks he actually believes he's the greatest of all time.
But if he said 20 million illegals entered the country under Biden, that's obviously not just hyperbole, but saying 20 million is a specific number.
People can make specific claims and be wrong about those claims. There's no doubt that that's true. But most of the things which are attributed to Donald Trump as him being a liar and this and that are attributed to mostly his hyperbole. Like, for instance, here's a good example of it. He said he's going to grab women by the pussy. That's how he treats women. He wants to grab them by the pussy. And then you listen to the video, right? And he's obviously fucking joking around with his friends, right? He's just joking around, being a fucking asshole. And it's like, dude, but you're going to try to sell the public on it, right? And it's like, that's the kind of disingenuous shit that just people are like, dude, these fucking people are whacked in the head. Lost all connection to reality with people in Main Street. Just lost connection with them.
I can't hear you, Tom.
Yeah, I can never hear Tom. I don't ever know if I'm speaking over him or not.
No. Yeah, my mic is having massive issues today. I've had to unplug it and plug it back in like 5 times already. This is weird. But yeah, I agree that yes, like they were able to like take that phrase and use it like politically for their advantage by using hyperbole to try to make it sound a whole lot worse than maybe it actually was in reality. But then if we're talking about him just saying like, FEMA's not coming to North Carolina. All of the people who are waiting are like, worried, wondering when the feds are going to show up. He's saying Biden's not answering the phone and like they spent all the money. There's no money left to help those people. Like that's not just hyperbole, but now there's like tons of people out there who are waiting for help and think help is coming. And now they think it's not coming.
Can you hear him?
I could hear him. Yeah, I could hear him. Can you hear us, Tom?
Yeah, I hear you guys. I don't know.
Tom, I'll bounce off the call because this conversation is almost impossible to have. I can barely hear anything you say, man.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what's going on because he's able to hear me and my my Discord's still lighting up, so I don't know what's going on.
Your Discord's lighting up. There's nothing coming through. You're having the same issue. You're having the same issue, aren't you?
It did cut out twice. Yeah, it did cut out actually twice, a couple of times.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Have a good night, Tom. I just want to come in really more than anything and just go, ha, 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 Donald Trump won. I hope he makes your life suck. That's all I wanted to do, bro.
Well, congratulations.
Andrew, nice talking with you, man.
Hey, you too, bro. You have a good night.